Hey friends, happy Friday evening. It is Melissa with Duncan Craft Treasures on the Essential Stencil page. So if you're watching right now, you're most likely on replay. So hashtag replay, let us know that you were here. Let us know where you're watching from. And of course, as always, let us know how your week was, guys. Okay, we're gonna get some white paint and we are gonna get started on this one, y'all. All right, so we've got a 18-inch round, guys. I feel like I need to push it back a little bit further. Let me see if I can. There we go. There we go. I've got you. If you're doing a very thin layer, that first coat isn't going to matter as much as your second coat. So I do a very thin coat, kind of get it all evened in, kind of like I'm using stain, y'all. And then I just rub it in, and then we'll dry it, and then we'll come back and do our second coat. I always forget my new heat tool isn't as loud, and it's a little bit slower than the other one. That's okay. Getting that second coat on. Okay, so without getting paint all over that. So if you look at this, if we do our background in white, we only need blue and red. So if you're doing a dark background, like a stained color, you will need to paint over the stain or whatever color you use. But we are doing, that was the Handmade, y'all. I'm never gonna get my new dryer straight, y'all. So we use white as our background, so it's going to make it super easy for that blue and that red to pop. All right, I think we're pretty good and dry. So now I'm going to take a high, I was like, what was that, y'all? That was my ink from my stamp pad. It was like right in the right spot when I grabbed that. I'm going to use a high grit sandpaper. At least it wasn't orange paint, right, y'all? So what we're going to do is we're using the Home Sweet Home since 1776, okay? So we're going to put that up at the top. We're going to use this at the bottom. We're going to come back and do our stars. It's a 3-piece set. It is not a layering set. Now, again, I'm using an 18-inch round, guys. I don't have any 16 inches in stock. I had ordered them today, so they are coming. But I'm going to have to make do with what I have right now. And I wanted to show y'all how to do this on an 18-inch, or on a 16, yeah, on an 18-inch round. So if you don't have a 16-inch, you can do it on an 18-inch. Y'all, that was a tongue twister. 18-inch round. 16-inch stencil. Here we go. So we can see it's all dry. It's ready to use. I'm just going to dip it into my paint. If your brush looks like this, guys, do not use it. Do not stencil. Promise me that you will never stencil with your brush looking like this. Like, make me a promise down in the comments, y'all. That is way too much paint. So we are going to offload the paint. I offload on a plate. Now, my plate is a shiny plate, so it doesn't offload as well as if it was a styrofoam plate. So then I go over here to my shop towel, and I offload on my shop towel as well. So what I'm doing is I'm working the paint down into those bristles, and now it's dry. So if your brush looks dry, you're ready to stencil, okay? I still feel like I may have a little bit too much paint on there. Get it off my sides, and now we are ready to go. Just make sure you're not doing too much pressure for any of that paint. So let's grab our blue now. Go. All right. Let me get the top on. Okay, so we're gonna do since 1776. Okay, so we have our Home Sweet Home, and so we just put it down like this. Crazy to me. All right, guys, so now we have the stars on there. So I'm going to form a very, very thin line. And when I say super, I'm talking super light. And I'm going to bring it down just a titch. And then I'm going to lightly, and I mean lightly, y'all. I am barely pressing where the white comes up. And then I'm going to look at it, make sure it looks how I want it to. And I'm good with that. Okay. So all I did And y'all may not even be able to see it, but can y'all see that very faint line that kind of gives it a little bit of definition? And now this looks like it's a different color because we've got that little bit of brown to kind of defy those edges. Can y'all see that? I just stuck my arm in my paint. Can y'all see that? But it just really helps kind of define that where it looks like it's together. Now, I am going to distress the rest of my board. You can leave it just like this and fill in. It's brown enough. I don't know if y'all can even see that around the edges. Give me some hearts if y'all can, y'all. Just around those edges. And then I come in a little bit stronger. Now you'll definitely be able to see it. All right, there is that project right there. We got some distressing around the edges, some down on the white. What do y'all think? I love this. I love it. All right, let's do one more project. So we've got our Old Glory. We have a 10 by 6 3/4. So the whole stencil is not going to fit on here, but I'm going to once again show you how you can kind of modify it, y'all. So we're going to do our white background. And I'm going to take this because I'm going to actually move that up for this particular piece of wood. So I'm using a dome brush, and if we get to 125 today, guys, we're giving away a free set of dome brushes. Red over here. All right, let's do some bronze tires, y'all. Add a little bronze. Why not? So that's how you do the base color before I decided to add the bronze, y'all. Now let's do our second layer, and then we'll go back and add the Old Glory at the top. Our second stencil, guys, lines up very easily. So I know you're supposed to use the cross tags up here and make sure that blue's not wet. But if you look at it, it lines up perfectly. You can line your tires, all the things, like it lines up. We're doing the bronze, so why not? If that's gonna be dark enough. And it is. All right, so we're gonna do one coat of the white. So cute. Got that little metallic shine going on there with our stars and our stripes. We could have done it a little bit darker, not a problem. We can go back and line it back up. And now we're gonna add our Old Glory. We're not done yet though, y'all. Okay, so then we have our Old Glory. And I'm gonna add some more stars, y'all. Tell me I'm not the only one. All right, there we go. All right, guys, what do y'all think? I think we got 2 amazing projects. I love this one, y'all. Like somebody said, no bow, it does not need a bow. It is perfect just like this. So I will see y'all next Friday night at 7 p.m. Central. Thanks for hanging out with me, guys. And if you're going over to essentialstencil.com to buy anything, my code Craft Treasures does save at checkout, and I appreciate it when y'all use my code more than y'all know. So have a great weekend, and I will see y'all next Friday. Bye, guys.